Welcome to KZGN News. Today we cover news from Sierra Sands Unified School, police response to a robbery, CHP response to a student tour bus accident, and follow up with investigators on the Oasis community fire on Cisco. I'm Tanya Pyle. Thanks for tuning in to news serving Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake. This is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
We'll start with school news. The Desert Area Teachers Association and Sierra Sands Unified School District are getting closer to finalizing a contract for the school year 2015-16. The salary reached in negotiations this week will be awarded retroactive. Teachers continue to protest a percentage raise with posters at regular school board meetings. They line up during the comment period to say the 2% release is an insult. Compared to other desert area school districts, Desert Area Teachers Association President Barbara Walls said Ridgecrest teachers receive the lowest pay. Teachers continue to demonstrate their dissatisfaction with signs at regular board meetings saying students are not first when teachers are last. Per California Government Code, Sierra Sands Unified District issued a public notice regarding Desert Area Teachers Association data proposals. According to DATA President Barbara Walls, DATA will submit their proposals to the district Tuesday. Walls said she anticipates Thursday to be a full day of negotiations and said she hopes for a conclusion Thursday this week. Alternatives to an agreement are not desirable, Walls told KZGN. Alternatives to an agreement mean teachers risk losing their benefits and retirement altogether. Negotiations this week will include salary and health and welfare benefits for school year 2015-16, and any awarded raise will be retroactive. As of the school board meeting last Thursday, a raise is up to 4% on the table for school year 2016-17, together with their health and welfare benefits for that school year. DATA and the school district have entered negotiations for 2016-17 school year salary, health, and welfare benefits. Assistant Superintendent Dave Oshkosh said negotiations have progressed throughout the year for 2015-16 contract. Presently, the district and DATA mutually agreed to discuss proposals including 16-17 school year. Presently, the contract from 2014-15 is in effect until the successor agreement is entered, including all working conditions. All associated rights and responsibilities in contract are in force or status quo until that time, Oshkosh said. We're eager to meet with them Tuesday and hopeful for an outcome to include a settlement agreement Thursday. In other school district news, Sierra Sands Unified School District announced their decision for a new Sierra Sands Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Ms. Shirley Kennedy is retiring at the close of the current year. After a comprehensive interview process, the district selected Ms. Michelle Sofko to fill the position out of several highly qualified candidates and detailed review of applications from internal as well as external candidates. Sofko earned her bachelor's degree from Pepperdine University in English Literature and earned an MS in Education and Curriculum and Instruction from Chapman University. Ms. Sofko served a number of positions with Sierra Sands beginning 2004 when she was assistant principal of Murray Middle School. In 2008, she became coordinator of pupil support services. In 2009, she assumed dual responsibilities as Las Flores Elementary School principal and coordinator of pupil support services. In 2014, Sofko's responsibilities transitioned to coordinator of educational technology assessment and categorical programs. The district released a statement saying Sofko has extensive professional experience and proven instructional leadership to help guide and lead Sierra Sands and support student achievement. In today's public education environment, the position of Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction is pivotal in leading the implementation of Common Core, as well as ensuring district programs and professional development successfully, preparing students in the 21st century for college and career readiness. The district will look to Ms. Sofko to carry Sierra Sands very successfully as we serve instructional interests of the community's greatest asset, our student learners, according to a district statement. Ridgecrest Police arrested a robbery suspect Sunday, April 17, 2016, on or about 7 p.m. Officers from the Ridgecrest Police Department responded to the report of a stabbing victim at the Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. Dennis Conley was being treated for lacerations to his arm and leg, which he alleged were sustained during an altercation with an unknown subject. Detective Groves responded and assumed the investigation. During the investigation, Detective Groves learned Conley and his friend Justin Randall picked up the victim in a vehicle and drove him to a remote location where they attempted to rob him. During the robbery, the victim defended himself and was able to flee on foot to safety. Conley and Randall were located, interviewed, and arrested for robbery. Both were booked into the Kern County Jail, Ridgecrest, being held on $535,000 bail. Randall is being held on a $585,000 bail and a felony violation of post-release supervision. In election news, May 23rd is the last day to register to vote. Only 6 weeks left until the June primary arrives in California. For the first time in many years, California is very important for both parties. It's looking like California could be the vote to determine our presidential nominees. For Republicans, Cruz and Kasich don't have much of a mathematical chance for the minimal 1,237 delegates needed to clinch the nomination. But Trump could be so close that California could be the one to put him over the minimum number. Cruz and Kasich are aiming to stop him from exceeding 1,237 delegates needed, so get ready for hundreds of TV commercials having the candidates slam each other out. For the Democrats, Clinton leads Sanders, who is not giving up. Sanders believes California is a state he can win to challenge Clinton at the convention, so they'll be campaigning in California too. In any case, if you're not registered to vote, you have time, but not much. To vote June 7th, you need to register 15 days before the election. The deadline is May 23rd. You have 1 month to register, but don't wait until the last minute. You can pick up registration forms at the local post office, the library, City Hall, the DMV, to name a few locations, or register from home on the internet. Just go to the Kern County Election Department website at elections.co.kern.ca.us/elections. You'll find a button on the web page that says, click here to register to vote. Voter turnout could set records we haven't seen in years. This is our chance to make a difference in a national election. By the way, there will be initiatives on the ballot as well, some very important initiatives. Stay tuned to news from Ridgecrest Republican Women's Federated when we return. Ridgecrest Republican Women's Federated listened to Mike Biglay's presentation at their April luncheon. Biglay filed to challenge Vince Fong's run for the District 34 Assembly seat. He describes himself as a concerned citizen who is concerned for the future of California and for the future of America as a free nation. He said, our children and our grandchildren may never know the America we grew up in. He described himself a firm believer in the Constitution as it was written and said, I will firmly defend the First and Second Amendments. As an assemblyman, I will promote accountability in government and fiscal responsibility. Biglay told the luncheon participants he will support private partnership in District 34, work hard for individual property rights, work to reduce taxes, and revoke undue fees. He said the temptation of power over servitude is what corrupts mankind. Kern County Fire Department have not determined a cause to the fire at 241 Cisco, 3:11 a.m. last Thursday morning. The Ridgecrest station told KZGN sometimes it's very obvious, but when it's not, incidents are referred to our arson investigation unit, who do a cause investigation. They access the reports and issue what they're allowed to release. Captain Stinnett of the Bakersfield Arson Unit told KZGN, typically we would do the cause determination and said it's actually the responsibility of the station captain. Presently, they have not been to Ridgecrest and definitely haven't been to Cisco. KZGN told Captain Stinnett residents of the Oasis community and the Oasis community manager were anxious to know the cause of the fire. Captain Stinnett explained the first company captain on scene determines the nature of the fire. Sometimes the fire cause is undetermined because of lack of evidence, and sometimes they just have nothing to go on. Fault of the fire is the prerogative of the responding company. Stinnett said the report received indicated the fire was undetermined, where causes responsible could be accidental, incendiary, or natural, and or undetermined. Typically, he said, fire investigators of criminal fires first develop a lead. Lead points to the direction, or if findings can show clearly no one was around and the fire was just a freak accident. Stinnett said it is not unusual for him to go out and call a fire undetermined. A week later or 6 months later, we will revisit and make a determination from the report. Stinnett said maybe it was part of the gas leak and maybe the captain called it undetermined. Maybe he didn't have any kind of signs because he couldn't eliminate other possibilities. The gas line burned for a while because they wanted to preclude another gas leak throughout the community. It doesn't preclude another leak, but releases gas into the air to mitigate the hazard of another ignition source of some type. Stinnett explained it burns until the gas company shuts it off at the source. Depending if the leak is on the gas company's side or the residential side, Stinnett said, we don't have the tools if it's on the gas company's side and don't want to cause a spark. Stinnett said a malfunctioning water heater could not be ruled out. First End Captain would make the determination. Ridgecrest Fire Captain Derrick called the fire undetermined. Captain Stinnett said hot water heater fires occur across the United States every day. Sometimes they're outside influence, sometimes malfunction in their own. And he encouraged upon any inkling smell of gas to not hesitate to call the fire department. Check your pilot lights. Some precautions can be taken to prevent a water heater fire. Don't leave items around the water heater. Always leave a 3-foot safety space, Captain Stinnett said. From the CHP, Saturday, April 23rd, at approximately 3:38 p.m., a tour bus occupied by 5 adults and 45 students was traveling northbound on US 395 approaching Little Lake Road in the number 2 lane at approximately 65 miles per hour. Due to an unknown reason, the bus drifted to the right, traversing the asphalt shoulder and continuing down a dirt embankment. The bus struck a wooden support and barbed wire fence. Emergency personnel from several agencies responded to the wreck. Some passengers were transported by ambulance to Ridgecrest and Southern Inyo Hospital in Lone Pine for minor injuries. The collision is still under investigation by Bishop CHP, according to Bishop Public Information Officer Cleland, to investigate if there was any fault by the driver or driving out of class involved. Stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tanya. From the National Weather Service, a cold front will bring wet and unsettled weather to much of the western U.S. into Tuesday. A few severe thunderstorms will be possible near the Great Lakes and over portions of the plains Monday. A more extensive severe weather outbreak is expected Tuesday across portions of the southern and central plains. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 68, Georgia at 78, Arkansas at 76, northern Texas at 84, Arizona at 76, and Los Angeles at 63. And for us locally, tonight, mostly clear with a low around 46, west-northwest wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 25. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 76, southwest wind, 5 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 54, west wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly sunny with a high near 75, west wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday night, a 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 53, west-northwest wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 25. Thursday, a 30% chance of showers, partly sunny with a high near 74, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, a 30% chance of showers, partly cloudy with a low around 53, west-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. And Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 84, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tanya.
Thanks, Lane. And now here's Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant Monday afternoon to everyone. Let's talk about Burroughs High School baseball. They lost their first league game on Friday. They lose to Oak Hills 6-1. That game played in Hesperia. Burroughs softball had a great week last week. They won on Friday against Sultana. They also won Wednesday on a come from behind, 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 of those home runs against Apple Valley. All right, Saracoso baseball back on the winning ways. A sweep Victor Valley College over last week I should say, and on Saturday they defeated the Rams 14-7 in Victorville. This week will be Barstow. It's the last week of the season. They'll take on Barstow at Barstow Tuesday and Saturday, with Thursday a home game at 2:30. Thursday and Friday can both be listened to on 1240 AM KLOA. All right, the Angels lose again to Seattle 9-4. Mariners take 2 of 3 in that series. The Angels open up 3 games tonight at the Big A against Kansas City. NBA playoffs, the Hawks in Boston. Boy, that's got to be the best series of them all. 2-2 right now with game number 5 tomorrow night in Atlanta. Dallas and Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City up 3-1. They beat Dallas on Saturday in the Big D. Cleveland and Detroit. The Cavaliers sweep Detroit 4-0. Likewise, San Antonio easily over Memphis. Indiana and Toronto, another good series, both tied at 2 games apiece. All right, the NBA, Byron Scott has been let go, Lakers head coach. I think a bit unfair. The last 2 years have been tough. A lot of injuries, a lot of young guys, a lot of Kobe Bryant hype, you name it. It's been tough, but I thought they'd give him a 3rd year, but not so. All right, 5th grade basketball league resumes tonight. First game at 4:30. They'll have the big weekend tournament sponsored by St. Anne's on Friday and Saturday up at Saracoso. There's your sports for this Monday. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
I'm Tanya Pyle, bringing your KZGN news for today, serving the Ridgecrest and Indian Wells Valley. Thank you for joining us.